The Cosmic Ultimatum. The alarms aboard the interstellar research vessel Prometheus began as a subtle warning, a gentle notification that something unusual had been detected. Within minutes, they escalated to a deafening cacophony that reverberated through every corridor of the massive ship. Commander Zara Reeves sprinted through the central passageway, her heart hammering against her ribs. This wasn't like the standard space anomalies they routinely catalogued. This was something else entirely. "Status report," she demanded, sliding into the command chair on the observation deck. Around her, a team of Earth's finest scientists worked with frantic precision, their fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. Dr. Malik Chen, the ship's chief quantum physicist, looked up from his station. His normally calm face was ashen. "Commander, we're detecting a fundamental shift in the fabric of space-time. It's as if the laws of physics themselves are being rewritten." Zara stared at the main view screen where swirling patterns of energy cascaded across what should have been empty space. The anomaly, if that's what it could be called, resembled a fractured crystal, shattering reality itself with each pulse. "Location?" she asked. "That's just it," replied Astrid Okafor, the ship's navigator. "It's not localized. We're detecting identical signatures across all monitored sectors. Whatever this is, it's happening everywhere simultaneously." In the days that followed, the true magnitude of what they faced became clear. The anomaly wasn't just a localized disturbance, it was a fundamental shift in the universe's operating parameters. Physical constants that had remained unchanging since the birth of the cosmos were fluctuating, creating cascading failures in technologies across the galaxy. The Prometheus received transmissions from every corner of known space. The Valhari Confederation, silicon-based entities that had mastered quantum computing millennia before humans had even discovered electricity, were the first to go silent. Their consciousness matrices, unable to function under the new physical parameters, had simply ceased to exist. The crystalline messerins followed soon after, their planet-spanning networks collapsing as quantum uncertainty principles shifted beyond their ability to compensate. One by one, the most advanced civilizations across the galaxy found their technologies rendered useless, their societies thrown into chaos. And then came the surrender broadcasts. "We're receiving another transmission," Lieutenant Keogh announced from the communication station. "It's from the Altarian Council." The view screen flickered to life, revealing a tall, slender being with pearlescent skin and eyes that reflected starlight. The High Counselor of the Altarians, a species that had explored the galaxy when humans were still hunting with stone tools, looked directly into the camera. "We have analyzed the cosmic aberration extensively," the alien stated, its translated voice carrying a tone of finality. "The fundamental constants of reality have been altered beyond recovery. Our physicists project complete technological collapse within 30 standard cycles. We have begun preparations for our species' return to pre-technological existence. We advise all spacefaring civilizations to do the same. This is the new reality. Adaptation is the only path to survival." The transmission ended, leaving the bridge in silence. Zara looked around at her crew. Where she expected to see despair, she instead saw something uniquely human: determination. "So," she said, straightening her uniform, "the universe just changed the rules on us. Any suggestions?" Dr. Chen's laugh was barely more than a snort. "When has humanity ever accepted limitations, Commander? If the universe changed the rules, then we'll just have to learn the new ones." That moment marked the birth of Project Defiance. Within a month, Earth had transformed itself into the center of the most ambitious scientific endeavor in human history. Research facilities from Antarctica to orbital platforms redirected all resources toward understanding the cosmic aberration. Traditional scientific methodologies were abandoned in favor of radical experimentation. In the central command hub of the Global Science Directive in Geneva, Zara Reeves now coordinated the worldwide effort. Massive holographic displays showed research teams working around the clock, testing theories that would have been considered madness just weeks earlier. The Lorcana reported complete technological collapse yesterday. Malik Chen announced, entering the command center with fresh data. Now the appointed director of theoretical research, he carried himself with the weight of humanity's future. That's the 17th advanced civilization to essentially surrender to pre-technological existence. And the Messerans? Zara asked, not looking up from the quantum simulation running on her console. They've initiated what they're calling the Great Hibernation. They're embedding their crystalline structures deep underground and entering suspended animation. They hope to wait out what they believe is a temporary cosmic phase. Zara shook her head. They'll be waiting a long time. You don't think it's temporary? Does it matter? She replied, finally looking up. Either way, humanity isn't going to sit around and wait. We adapt. We overcome. That's what we do. On the main screen, a visualization of the cosmic aberration pulsed with hypnotic rhythm. What had first appeared chaotic now showed subtle patterns, mathematical constants that shouldn't exist but somehow did. Each day brought new understanding, but progress was agonizingly slow. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Astrid Okafor had been experimenting with navigational algorithms, trying to compensate for the new spatial distortions that made conventional faster-than-light travel impossible. Her team had created a mathematical model that predicted the aberration's effect on space-time curvature. "Look at this," she said, bursting into the command center without ceremony. She transmitted her findings to the main display, where complex equations resolved into a three-dimensional model. The aberration isn't random. It's structured. It's like a lattice. Malik studied the display, his eyes widening. This isn't a natural phenomenon. These patterns are too perfect. Exactly, Astrid confirmed. Whatever this is, it was created. The implications were staggering. The cosmic aberration wasn't some random fluctuation in the universe's constants. It was deliberate. Something or someone had rewritten the laws of physics. Can we counteract it? Zara asked, the question that mattered most. Astrid's smile was small but significant. Better. I think we can exploit it. Within days, research teams around the world reoriented their efforts based on Astrid's discovery. If the aberration had structure, it had rules. If it had rules, those rules could be understood. And what could be understood could be manipulated. The first alien diplomatic delegation arrived 3 months after Project Defiance began. The Thraxi, insectoid beings with an advanced understanding of mathematical principles, had been monitoring Earth's communications. Their concern was evident even through their alien physiology. "You must cease your interference," the Thraxi ambassador chittered, mandibles clicking nervously. "The cosmic restructuring is beyond manipulation. 17 civilizations more advanced than yours have accepted this truth." The meeting took place in a secure conference room at the Geneva facility. Zara sat across from the alien delegation, flanked by Malik and Astrid. "With respect, Ambassador," Zara replied, "humans have a different relationship with impossibility than most species. We tend to see it as a temporary inconvenience." The Thraxi's compound eyes reflected the room's light in disorienting patterns. "This is not pride or stubbornness, Commander Reeves. This is mathematics. The universe has established new parameters. Your attempts to circumvent them could destabilize reality further. Or," Malik interjected, "they could reveal possibilities your people haven't considered." The ambassador's antennae twitched, a sign of extreme agitation. "We have monitored your progress. Your Project Defiance seeks to manipulate fundamental constants that should be immutable. The risk is incalculable. The risk of doing nothing is certain extinction of technological civilization," Zara countered. "We choose to take our chances with the unknown." After the Thraxi departed, more delegations followed. Some came to observe, others to warn, a few to threaten. Humanity's refusal to accept the new cosmic limitations had made Earth the focal point of galactic attention. While other species retreated, humans charged forward. The experimental quantum manipulation chamber occupied what had once been the Large Hadron Collider, repurposed and expanded to house technology that hadn't existed 6 months earlier. The chamber, a massive spherical structure lined with crystalline lattices and superconducting materials, hummed with energy that defied conventional understanding. Initiating test sequence, Astrid announced, her voice carrying through the control room. Around her, scientists and engineers monitored systems that operated on principles they were still struggling to comprehend. Quantum lattice alignment at 97% and holding. Zara stood behind the safety barrier, her hands clasped tightly behind her back. This wasn't just another experiment. It was humanity's first real attempt to push back against the cosmic aberration. Energy injection in 3, 2, 1. The chamber erupted in light that seemed to bend around itself, colors shifting through spectrums that human eyes had never evolved to perceive. Data flooded across monitoring stations, numbers and patterns that contradicted every established law of physics, except the new ones they were only beginning to understand. Quantum resonance stabilizing, called out one of the technicians, disbelief evident in his voice. We're actually doing it. For 73 seconds, within the confines of the chamber, a small pocket of space existed where the old laws of physics still applied. It was small, it was temporary, but it was proof that the cosmic aberration could be countered. When the experiment ended, the control room erupted in cheers, hugs, and tears. But Zara's gaze was fixed on the observation gallery where the alien delegations watched. Their reactions ranged from disbelief to outright fear. Humanity had just served notice to the universe. The new rules wouldn't apply to them. They refused to accept them. And they were just getting started. Rewriting reality. News of humanity's breakthrough spread across the galaxy like a quantum shockwave. Species that had already begun the solemn process of dismantling their technological civilizations paused, watching Earth with a mixture of hope and trepidation. The 73 seconds of restored physics might have seemed insignificant to some, but to humanity it represented something far greater, a proof of concept. In the aftermath of the first successful experiment, Project Defiance expanded exponentially. Research facilities around the globe operated in synchronized determination, each breakthrough building upon the last. Where alien civilizations saw insurmountable barriers, humans saw puzzles waiting to be solved. Zara Reeves stood at the viewport of the newly constructed orbital platform, Prometheus Station, named after the research vessel that had first detected the cosmic aberration. Below her, Earth gleamed blue and white against the darkness of space, seemingly unchanged. But humanity had been transformed. The latest communications from the Altarian Council, Malik said, approaching with a data tablet. The quantum physicist had barely slept in weeks, but his eyes burned with intensity that fatigue couldn't dim. They're expressing grave concern about our continued experimentation. Zara accepted the tablet, scanning the diplomatic message. More warnings about cosmic stability. Same as the Thraxi, the Messerins, and everyone else. She handed the tablet back. Have they offered any actual data to support their concerns? No, just more appeals to caution and acceptance. Then we continue as planned. Zara turned back to the viewport. What's the status on Dr. Okafor's new resonance chamber? Testing begins in 30 minutes. This one's different, Zara. If Astrid's calculations are correct, we won't just create a temporary bubble of restored physics. We'll be able to actively manipulate the new constants. The implications hung between them, unspoken but understood. They weren't just fighting against the new rules anymore. They were learning to rewrite them. The main laboratory of Prometheus Station resembled something between a traditional scientific facility and an alien temple. Crystalline structures pulsed with energy that defied conventional measurement. Holographic interfaces displayed mathematical equations that would have been incomprehensible just months earlier. In the center stood the new resonance chamber, a sphere of interlocking geometric patterns that seemed to shift when viewed from different angles. Initiating quantum resonance, Astrid announced, her voice calm despite the weight of the moment. Around her, a team of specialists monitored systems that operated on principles humanity was still struggling to understand. Primary lattice stabilized, secondary structures engaging. The chamber began to hum, a sound felt more than heard. The air seemed to thicken as reality itself responded to their manipulation. On monitoring stations around the laboratory, data streamed in patterns that would have been dismissed as impossible less than a year ago. "Quantum field is stabilizing," one of the technicians reported, wonder evident in her voice. "We're seeing consistent values across all monitored parameters." For 8 minutes and 27 seconds, the resonance chamber maintained a localized field where physics operated according to human design, not the original universal constants, nor the new constraints imposed by the cosmic aberration, but a third set of parameters deliberately engineered for specific technological purposes. When the experiment concluded, the data was immediately transmitted to research facilities around the world. Within hours, new prototypes emerged, devices designed to operate under the customized physical constants that humans could now create. The first practical application was a communication system that utilized the modified quantum states to transmit information instantaneously across vast distances. Traditional communication had been one of the first technologies to fail under the new cosmic constraints, leaving many alien civilizations isolated and fragmented. Within weeks, Earth re-established contact with its off-world colonies and research outposts. Within months, a network of quantum resonators created corridors of modified space that allowed ships to travel between star systems once again. Humanity wasn't just surviving the cosmic aberration, it was thriving. Emergency session of the Galactic Conclave, announced the Thraxi ambassador, mandibles clicking rapidly in agitation. All spacefaring species are required to attend. The message arrived at Prometheus Station exactly 1 year after the first detection of the cosmic aberration. By then, Earth had not only restored most of its pre-aberration technologies, but had begun developing new ones that exploited the unique properties of the modified physical constants. The Conclave, a diplomatic forum for intelligent species that had existed for millennia before humanity's emergence on the galactic stage, had never before called an emergency session focused on a single species. The implications were clear. Humanity had become a matter of urgent concern. "They're afraid," Malik observed as they prepared for the meeting. For thousands of years, these civilizations have believed they understood the fundamental nature of reality. Then the aberration happened, and they accepted their new limitations. Now humans come along and demonstrate that those limitations are optional. "It's more than that," Astrid added, calibrating a portable quantum stabilizer they would bring to the conclave. "Our research suggests the aberration itself is responding to our manipulations. It's almost as if..." "As if what?" Zora prompted when Astrid hesitated. "As if it's aware of us." The Galactic Conclave convened in neutral space, aboard a massive station constructed eons ago by a now-extinct species. Representatives from 27 spacefaring civilizations gathered in a great amphitheater, their diverse biologies requiring various environmental accommodations. The human delegation, Zara, Malik, and Astrid, stood at the center of the chamber, the focus of compound eyes, crystalline sensors, and various alien perceptual organs. The High Arbiter of the Conclave, a gaseous entity contained within an ornate transparent vessel, hovered at the head of the assembly. "This emergency session addresses the human violation of cosmic constraints," it announced, its translated voice resonating through the chamber. "Evidence indicates that human experimentation threatens the stability of the new universal order." "With respect, Arbiter," Zara responded, her voice steady, "we reject the premise that adaptation to the cosmic aberration constitutes a violation. Humanity has simply refused to accept artificial limitations on our development." "Artificial." The Messeran representative's crystalline form pulsed with agitation. "The aberration is a fundamental shift in reality itself. It cannot be challenged without risking further degradation of universal constants." That assumes the aberration is a natural phenomenon, Malik countered. Our research indicates otherwise. The patterns we've discovered suggest deliberate design. A murmur ran through the assembled representatives, some expressing disbelief, others alarm. The High Arbiter's gaseous form swirled turbulently within its container. You claim the cosmic aberration was created intentionally? The Altarian counselor asked, leaning forward on limbs that resembled polished ivory. By whom? For what purpose? We don't yet know, Astrid admitted. But we've discovered something even more significant. She activated the portable quantum stabilizer she had brought with her. A holographic display materialized above it, showing a complex three-dimensional representation of energy patterns. The aberration responds to our manipulations. It adapts. It learns. The chamber erupted in alarmed voices and translated exclamations. The High Arbiter pulsed rapidly, calling for order. What the humans described is impossible, declared the Thraxi ambassador. Universal constants cannot possess agency or awareness. And yet, the evidence suggests exactly that, Zara replied. The cosmic aberration isn't just a change in physical laws. It's an intelligence, and it's testing us. The return journey to Earth was conducted in silence. The conclave had ended in disarray, with most species retreating to private consultations and urgent communications with their homeworlds. The human revelation that the cosmic aberration might be a sentient entity had transformed galactic understanding of the crisis. Do you think they'll join us now? Astrid finally asked as their ship approached Prometheus Station. Or will they continue to surrender? Some will join, Malik predicted. Others will retreat further. Fear is a powerful motivator, and what we're proposing, actively engaging with an intelligence that can rewrite physical law, is terrifying. Zara gazed out at the stars, each one now surrounded by the subtle distortion that marked the cosmic aberration's presence. We need to take the next step. No more defensive measures, no more workarounds. It's time to communicate directly. The plan took 3 months to implement. The resulting device was unlike anything humanity had created before, a quantum resonance amplifier that would attempt to establish communication with the intelligence behind the cosmic aberration. Built within the crater of an extinct volcano in Hawaii, the amplifier resembled a massive crystalline flower, its petals unfurling toward the sky. Representatives from 7 alien species had joined the project, overcoming their fear in the face of human determination. The Altarians brought their unparalleled knowledge of quantum mathematics. The Thraxi contributed insights from their hive mind computational models. Even a delegation of Messerans emerged from hibernation to offer their crystalline technology. On the day of activation, scientists and observers from across the galaxy gathered. The control center hummed with nervous energy as final preparations were made. Quantum lattice aligned, Astrid reported, her fingers dancing across interfaces that responded to thought as much as touch. Resonance patterns synchronized with aberration frequencies. Energy injection commencing, Malik added, monitoring the massive power systems that fed the amplifier. Approaching theoretical threshold. Zara stood at the primary command station, feeling the weight of not just humanity, but all technological civilization resting on this moment. Initiate communication sequence. The amplifier came to life with a pulse of energy that rippled visibly through the air. The crystalline petals began to rotate, creating patterns of light and shadow that seemed to bend reality itself. Data flooded the monitoring stations, not just measurements and readings, but complex mathematical sequences that resembled language. We're receiving a response, Astrid exclaimed, her voice pitched with disbelief. The aberration is communicating. The translated message appeared on the main display, simple yet profound. UAAVPASSEDDA test. For several moments, the control room fell silent. Then questions erupted from every direction, scientists and observers trying to process what they were seeing. Send response, Zara ordered when the initial chaos subsided. Ask what test. Who are you? The answer came almost immediately. I am the caretaker. The test is for worthy inheritors. Over the hours that followed, the communication continued. The entity identified itself as an ancient intelligence tasked with finding civilizations capable of assuming stewardship of universal constants. The cosmic aberration had been implemented across thousands of galaxies, challenging advanced species to demonstrate not just technological prowess, but the determination to overcome seemingly insurmountable barriers. Of all the civilizations in the known galaxy, only humanity had refused to accept the new limitations. Only humans had pushed back, questioning, experimenting, adapting. Where others saw the end of possibility, humans saw the beginning of discovery. UYLNHERIT, the KEYs to REALITY. The entity communicated. UYLURIN to shape UNIVRCL law. And the other species? Zara asked. What happens to them? They may lurin from you if they choose. The test is complete, but GROVH Q&A. 1 year later, Zara Reeves stood at the newly constructed Cosmic Interface Platform, a massive structure in Earth orbit that served as humanity's connection point to the caretaker entity. Around her, representatives from dozens of alien species worked alongside human scientists, learning the principles that would allow them to manipulate universal constants. The Messerans have successfully implemented their first quantum stabilizer, Malik reported, approaching with the latest update. Their crystal cities are beginning to function again. And the Valhari? Zara asked. Still struggling, but making progress. Their consciousness matrices require more complex adaptations. Zara nodded, watching as a ship from a distant star system docked with the platform. More visitors, more students, more species refusing to accept limitation. You know, Astrid said, joining them at the observation window. When we first encountered the aberration, everyone thought it was the end. Other species saw it as an insurmountable wall, and humans saw it as a door, Malik finished. Zara smiled, gazing out at the stars that now represented not just distant suns, but a playground of possibility. That's always been the difference, hasn't it? When the universe says, you can't, humanity asks, why not? Beyond the platform, space itself seemed to shimmer with potential, a universe no longer bound by immutable law, but shaped by those with the will to question, the courage to challenge, and the determination to never accept impossibility as the final answer. Humanity had not just defied the laws of reality. They had earned the right to rewrite them.